Good morning, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for being here at the Art of the Oracle. I'm so excited to do a 3-card pick a card reading for you on this Halloween. How exciting. So I brought some fun energy out with a little bit of, fun witchy colors. I do have the amethyst bringing in highest wisdom and guidance and a little bit of magic here. So what I'm going to have you look at to see what is drawing you in is I'm going to use a different deck of tarot cards for each one of the readings. So this is the Tarot of the Owls. And along with this, so this will be reading number 1. I have this really lovely, I introduced it in a different reading in case you haven't seen this one before. It'd be fun to go back and look. So I got this as a gift and I see all these different faces and symbolism. So there's a lot going on in this, but this is your rock here that will go with pile number 1. And then for pile number 2, we're going to use the Deviant Moon Tarot. A lot of fun. It's got a lot of great symbolism in it as well. And then we have for pile number 2, the Raven. And this is an obsidian raven is the stone that this has been carved from. So for pile number 2, this is your choice option. And for pile number 3, we have Crow Tarot here. And with Crow Tarot, we have this skeleton key. And with the skeleton key, there's a little bit of like an infinity symbol here. So for pile number 3, it's Crow Tarot and the key. So I'm going to let this run for a few minutes. Take a look, listen to your heart, listen to your highest wisdom and guidance, and decide which one you want to go with. And then we'll dive in. We're going to use a lot of different oracle decks along with the tarot decks, and at the end I'm going to add in something from the soulmate card deck from Toni, Carmine, Salerno at the end. So this is the last day of October. We're going to be looking for what is coming ahead in November. Really beautiful reading for this Halloween day. I hope you guys are having a fun day, and I'll be right back. Pile number 1. All right, this is your reading. Okay, very, very exciting. So you chose this pile number 1, which has this beautiful crystal. I have no idea what type of crystal it is. There's so much going on. I have a feeling there's a lot of different elements going in here. So that I think has to do with part of why you chose this deck. So I'm seeing a lot of faces and spirit animals, not just human faces, but animal faces. So I feel like this is bringing in the awareness to you. You may already be aware that you have a lot of spirit energy around you. You have a lot of guides and helpers. You have a lot of people and animal spirits that are here for you. So if you ever feel like you're by yourself, or if you feel like you're, you don't know which way to go, quiet your mind and tap in and to see what information that you get from your highest wisdom and guidance, or if there's any guidance that you can bring in. Because I see wolf, a face in here, which is around loyalty and protection. And then I see this beautiful spirit here that looks like it has a crystal here at the tip of its nose. And to me, that is representing that understanding of that crystalline energy and the beautiful wisdom of crystals. So I think myself, I feel like there's a lot of energy in crystals, and they can bring in or remove things that you don't need or do need. And I think so this is bringing a lot of different magical elements, as well as this grounding and amplifying element of the crystal. So I'm going to put this crystal right over here. We'll lean him up against there. And then you've chose what I love, this magical rainbow image for the crow. So there's a lot of wisdom and rainbow imagery coming out here. But I'm going to start with your oracle cards, and then we'll finish up here with these. So I'm going to put these over to the side. So a couple of things that I wanted to bring in. One is there's a lot of talk out there, and I am not an astrologist. So I, pick up certain things here and there, but I wanted to bring out the Black Moon Astrology to find out for pile number 1, what are, bring these out here, what if there's any information that you need to know moving forward into the month of November. Okay, so this is what this first card I'm going to take. So this is, it just kind of jumped open and I decided to go with this one. Card number 13, Aries, I am. And so I see a lot of this grounding energy, very mysterious. This ram is very powerful, and that I am, to me, is the ability to be the infinite creator. That's bringing in the ability to create your own reality, to know that you are a powerful being. And I think that's a beautiful way to start out this reading. So under this is also March, which is the 21st of March through April. So if you fall under that, or if you know somebody or have somebody in your life that falls under there, this card, when it comes out here, it says, expect things to move fast, for there is no time to take it step by step. It will all be a mad jump. It may be a time of testing your will. That's very, very interesting. It also says you will work best in situations where you make your own decisions rather than acting as an underling, whatever that means. I guess what that means is, somebody that's, back here in the back. You may even find a supporting cast to help you finish your work instead of you being a supporting role. It marks a period where you are really powerful, headstrong, and you can forge a path if you have the vision and the energy, because that's what this card is bringing out, is the opportunity for possible vision and energy moving forward. So this is about your month of November. So I'm going to bring out this moon oracle, earthly souls and spirits, for Halloween. I thought it was pretty appropriate, because you may be seeing this on a different day. So this is the card that wanted to reveal itself. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. And look at this. It's moon phases. So it's really interesting that this one was kind of this red, forceful, powerful energy. And now you have a card, beautiful. And that's bringing in this divine feminine of allowing this nurturing. I don't know if you can see this from the image here, but these are all little hearts down here. They look like leaves, but they're hearts around her. And she's in this white, mysterious, like, imagery. She almost looks ghost-like. And what we started with, this beautiful crystal, that I see all these faces. So what I'm seeing, these are two different aspects, I feel like, of what you're going to be experiencing as you go forward into the month of November. So this card around beautiful, there's a couple of different things that is associated with this card. Beauty, of course. And when you're in this divine feminine state, you can notice and recognize these beautiful things. When you're in this I am very, headstrong space of moving forward, sometimes you miss this. So I feel like these cards are saying that you're going to move forward with a somewhat balanced ability, because there is strength in being able to see what's around you, and being able to take time to see those things also allows you to value or evaluate things. So what I think it's asking is when you're moving in this space from a very powerful, everything speeding up space, don't forget to stay focused on these, beautiful aspects that are around you. Don't get too caught up, because as you can see with this energy, looks like there's a lot of energy around her, but she's being focused in this one space, allowing herself to receive what's in there. So there's something about that element that is being presented right now in this space. So I'm going to grab another moon card that I have here. So these are, what are these little cards here? They are Moonology, I think. Okay. And this is the card that wanted to pop out for this one. So this one is balanced spirituality and practicality, or balanced spirituality with practicality. That's exactly, it couldn't have come out in a more beautiful time. And this is that Pisces symbolizing that balance at the full moon. And we just came out, or we're just let me see, we're going into a new moon. We just came out of a full moon, and it's saying to balance, which you could take a look at this card. When I said it looked like ghost-like, it could be representing that spirituality, that aspect. And interesting, right up above her is the full moon. So maybe at this next full moon, you're going to have an opportunity to look at things and to be able to, instead of going from like one powerful position or this position, to understand that you can work with all these elements. You don't have to decide that it's only this or only that. The nurturing of the divine feminine with the power of the divine masculine is really what we want moving forward. And as we all know, we have a lot of things going on in November. And that's really what we want, is that balanced energy moving forward. We don't want too much of one creates a problem, and too much of the other creates a problem. Now, these cards are really, really big, but that's the one that I think wanted to come out. I love these. These are the Raven cards. Let me see what they're called exactly. Oh, they're just called Raven cards. And I picked them up when I was staying at a place called the Raven Lodge, or the Raven Room. I was out in the middle of the mountains, and when I got there, they had these things everywhere, and I was super excited because I love the Raven. So let doubt depart and confidence spread wide its strong wings to carry you now. Okay, so this is telling me that something is going to happen in this month. It's going to kind of, maybe you're going to feel like, you know, because of all this speeding up and all these things that are happening, excuse my arms here, all these things that are happening, that that you need to have a little help along the way. That's kind of what I'm hearing with all this. I'm just moving all these up so we can add your tarot cards. So that's what this is, pile number one. It's about this balanced energy, recognizing the strength and the beauty in each situation, that even when things kind of look like they're not going our way, there is the ability for us to move forward in a balanced way. And I feel like something is going to shift for you in November at the first full moon that is. And I'm not exactly sure when that is. So take a look at your calendar. And let doubt depart and confidence spread wide its strong wings to carry you. I love that. So let's take a look at the Tarot of the Owls and see what is the energy that's coming forward to give us more information about this. Okay, so these three cards here kind of flip themselves up. So let's start there. So you have a lot of wand energy. You have a wand, the Knight of Wands here. And the Knight of Wands it's a fiery energy. So it's somebody that's moving forward with a lot of youth and passion. Sometimes the wand, the Knight can be a little bit erratic. But as you can see here, he's got this really interesting lizard catch, right? And he kind of looks like a warrior. He looks like he's all geared up and he's got the lizard. And I think that there's some symbolism there in the lizard about going into the dream time and being aware at what's going on in your, in your dream. So pay attention if you're feeling like there is, if that means anything to you. So we'll start there. Make sure that you can see this. Yeah, I was trying to move them up. Some of these are some really big cards here. So I'm going to move it just slightly there. Yep, I think we can get that one in there. And so that's where we're starting off with this wand, is knowing your energy. Don't move forward, without, and it's interesting that it's right here under this strength, because they're both this fiery energy moving forward, right? It's, it's bringing you, he's kind of looks like he's going to the past in some level. So make sure that when you're moving forward that, you do it and you understand and pay attention to any symbolism that you might get as you move forward. Then we have the Page of Swords. Now the page, as you can see, is not moving forward. He's looking a little bit to the past. So I feel like there's a progression that's coming here. I'm sorry, there's like a little dog that's running around outside. He looks like he belongs somewhere, but he's not sure where. I'm going to pause this for just a second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, so there's a little guy that's gone into the neighbor's yard. So we'll see what happens. So isn't that interesting? So I took a pause here. So this is kind of, it's beautiful because it's allowing me to see the similarities here in this white. So this is this fiery energy, wands or this fiery energy, very passionate. And this is bringing in a lot of this fiery energy as we're moving forward. But I had to take a pause for just a second. And I think that that is what the cards are asking you to do, is to take a little bit of a pause. And that's where we started with this card when we were talking about taking a moment to really change our focus. There's a lot of that red energy here in the heart, and that really represents the passion and things moving forward. So something about this passionate kind of opportunity that you have is going to need you to kind of take a little bit of a pause, a moment. The Page of Swords is about communication. It's new understanding and new awareness as it's moving in this direction. So I think that's very relevant. And then we have the King of Wands. So what's really beautiful is we've got this young, fiery energy. Well, he no longer is carrying the lizard. This lizard is kind of grown up and he's right here at his shoulder and they're working together. There's this beautiful awareness of all the symbols, why you're here. Pay attention to what you're working in around you, because the King of Wands is all about this ultimate creativity and power that he has moving forward. So I love that there's a progression. So what it feels like is in the month of November, as we said here with this balance of spirituality and practicality, is that you're going to perhaps go from a state where things just feel a little bit wild and somewhat, maybe untethered on some level, and that you're going to redirect and make sure that that energy is moving in a more practical way. You're going to start being able to see a little bit of beauty in what the situation is, and then stand in your ultimate power and being able to utilize all the things from your visions, whether they be symbols in the dream time or whether you just are getting a little bit of help. So let's see if there's anything else that we have for pile number 1 for November. Okay, so this card dropped out. Oh, I love it. And then we have the Queen of Swords. So isn't this interesting? So what I'm feeling like, there's also a progression here. We went from the Knight to the King and the Page to the Queen. So each time we're like skipping over one, but we have Page, Knight, Queen, King. So what we have is a progression of all of these elements moving forward. We have a progression from this kind of really young, spry, kind of youthful energy to the Knight energy, which is, very, very gung-ho, ready to go, to this really soft energy that brings in this divine feminine, to this masculine energy, which is bringing that forward. So it's really interesting that all of these elements are presented here for us to be able to look at and to see the progression. Even though they're not all one right in a row, what they are is saying that balance, take a pause between this outward, passionate, outward motion that you're doing, and listen to the guidance that's coming in. Perhaps listen to your dream time, symbolism, things that are going on. Make sure that you pay attention to what's going on around you. You are in this space of power, which is where we began with this beautiful, I'm going to see if you can see these. Yeah, with this beautiful energy of the Aries, the card number 13. And so you're back in that energy. You're not losing that energy by taking a pause and seeing the beauty and all the things around you. It's allowing you to balance the spirituality and practicality as you move forward, which I think is then going to take you into 2025, because the Queen energy is about really coming with this soft-spoken energy around communication. So I think there's going to be a lot going on regarding what you're hearing. And even though all this, energy seems really fiery, what's really interesting is that this is a cooler and this is a hot. So there's hot, cooling, hot, cooling. And when you don't get overly drawn into any situation, you're going to find that it's going to naturally balance and let doubt depart and confidence spread wide to carry you. Okay, so let's see if there's anything else. I feel like it's a really great reading. Okay, so a couple more cards have bounced out here to round out this reading. And what we have, oh, look at that, is the Star. Something is going to come in that's going to illuminate something on a really big cosmic level. That's what I'm hearing from this star energy that's coming through. I want to make sure that these are all coming in here so you can see them. So yeah, so that's part of what's going on here, is that this beautiful star cosmic energy is coming forward. The Six of Pentacles, this is the energy of being able to move forward in this kind of give and take. It's not going to be one-sided energy. It's going to be about being able to have the ability to give to others. So if you're in need, you receive. If you have and someone else is in need, they'll receive. You can give to them. Now the Eight of Wands, we've got that fire energy coming back in. But as you can see, it's like this is the reciprocity. We're leaving this space, this Eight of Wands. He is ahead, or, you know, slightly. He's not, these are all this fiery, passionate stuff that's coming forward. So he's riding with that. He's not letting it, you know, overwhelm him on any way. And look at this, we're rounding it out. So we have the star and the moon. This is these divine feminine elements that are asking you to really step into your intuitive understanding, that divine feminine, that taking a pause, resting in the moonlight. And then we end up here with this beautiful crow here. It's like the wisdom sometimes is in the unseen. I'm not crow, I'm sorry, the owl. It's a black owl. And I think it's in front of the moon, because at the moon, it's interesting, it's right here by this, and we have all these moons represented here, is something in the light of the moon is going to show something that was maybe hidden. We're going to have new knowledge about something that was maybe in the shadows a little bit, but it's all going to move forward in this beautiful divine space of reciprocity, being able to, this is a very nurturing card, the Six of Pentacles. It could be about somebody coming in from the past, but I see it as being able to be in an environment that really nurtures you, being able to get carried when you need it. And the energy will still stay strong. This is active energy as you're moving forward. And again, it's asking you, as you move into that active energy, don't forget, these are major arcana cards. So there's some major shifts that are bringing in this divine intuition and this star energy, bringing in the cosmic light and understanding that you are much bigger than what you may have played here on the earth so far, or what you've ever believed yourself to be. So thank you, pile number one. I hope you enjoy this reading. I look forward to reading to you again. If you're not a subscriber, I hope you will hit that subscribe button, and I'd love to hear how this resonated with you. So until next time, have an amazing day. Bye now. Hello, pile number two. This is your reading. Thank you so much for being here with the Art of the Oracle. We're going to dive in. What you have chose is the Deviant Moon Tarot. Now we're going to put these aside so we can begin with some oracle cards to begin the reading. But we're going to start here with this beautiful raven. Now I picked this up on one of my visits when I was in Florida. I love ravens. I feel like that's a very magical image, and it's very appropriate for this Halloween. But as we move forward, the raven has the ability to bring in a little bit of magic into your environment. This obsidian is this protective energy. So I feel like there's going to be a little bit of magic, kind of things that are a little bit unseen regarding, you know, where you're going, but the choice is being divinely guided and sprinkled in with a little bit of magic. So perhaps in the month of November, things are going to come into your space that you didn't necessarily see coming, but there'll be really good guided and grounding energy coming in. So with that being said, let's take a look at our very first deck. So we have the Black Moon Astrology. We've been hearing a lot of information, a lot about, you know, these once in a lifetime moon transits and planet transits. And what I received is this one here. So this is number 12, Black Moon Lilith. Isn't this beautiful? Because in this beautiful purple energy, and we're in this Halloween, I've put down here this beautiful amethyst stone that we have here. But Lilith is this mystery. She's bringing in mystery. Now, I don't know a lot about Lilith, so I'm excited to dive into this guidebook that has to give us some information, but I'm seeing a lot of divinity here. She's got what looks like, these look like, I can't tell if they're cats here or if they're more snake head, but it kind of looks like that. And she's got these beautiful wings, and she's a little bit hidden away. And that's really interesting, because we started out with this raven energy, which I was saying has a little bit of magic, and some things may be coming into your space that you don't necessarily see, or you're not going to see, that is coming in for you as we move forward into the month of November. This is really exciting. I'm excited to see what Black Moon Lilith brings in, because what it says right here is mystery. And what it says about Lilith is she's the ancient goddess of mystery and transformation. So keep that in your mind. So we're talking about the raven, which has this magical ability of protection, but also, you know, kind of, you're not going to see what's coming, but it's going to be a really good thing. And now it's talking about transformation. And it says stories of Lilith appeared around 5,000 years ago in the area of Sumeria, which is probably what I'm seeing here with these wings and these aspects around her. She's kind of looking a little bit like an Egyptian goddess. Most people recognize Lilith from the myth as Adam's first wife. She also appears in folklore all throughout. So there's a lot of different energy around her. And that's probably why there's mystery, is because her name keeps popping up in all these different areas. And when the card comes up in a reading, it's saying that something kind of appears out of nowhere. And she appears in your astrological chart. Now you can go in and get free astrological readings and find out where Lilith is in your chart. And that might be kind of fun to see. It says she is a shadow side, the dark face of the moon, where mysteries and unexplained occurrences lie in wait. So it indicates a call to wildness. Lilith is the evocation of what may or may not be there. She can manifest as madness or self-realization. So isn't that interesting? We had this kind of dark thing that could go, what it's saying is that it could go either way. But when it you know, manifests into something negative, it's really just trying to bring that thing out into the open, so it's no longer a part of you if it's a negative aspect. And if you are ready for that really big positive change, it can also manifest that way. So it does suggest a little bit of this divine feminine rebellion against what is going out there in the masculine patriarchy. So she can represent a little bit of that embittered kind of feminine energy, what feels like, you know, like right now, you know, if you're a woman, it could feel like there's a little bit of oppression going on, and it's been going on throughout the ages. So sometimes when things happen over and over and over again, it's like the cup is finally full and then the lash out comes, right? So this is about discovering that thing within you where you're like, can't take anymore. So something is ready to transform as it moves forward in this new time. So we're going to go forward with the earthly moons and souls. And what came out here is radiant. We're getting a lot of purple energy out here for you. I love that. And the purple energy is that's that divine, that crown chakra or third eye. It's the upper realms of understanding what's going on. And as you can see here, we got another bird image with the owl, and he is standing right here on her broom, and she's holding up this pumpkin, and the whole image around her seems like she's very aware of what's going on, that she's working with her wisdom. I love that we have all these divine feminine aspects, and then the aspects of what's going on with the birds, you know, bringing in this higher wisdom and guidance. So there's something about that trying to come in to help guide you through this kind of mysterious path. So this is, I'm going to read a little bit about what it says. It says, tap into your inspiration and creativity using your newly gained resources to the fullest extent. Choose to shine on your brightest frequency. So this was saying that there's an aspect that could either represent itself as a darker shadow aspect or the light. So this is bringing in the lightness So as this is dark, it's really interesting because pile number 1 was all about that balancing of energy. So what this is telling me as we're moving into November is that there's a balancing that's either needing to happen or is going to happen. Like the energies of this darkness are going to be balanced with more of the light. It says, be like the sun, the moon, and the stars, illuminating the darkness. I love that. So there's something that is asking you to become this empowered person to illuminate what's going on as you move into November. That it's very important for you to stay in some aspects that you could be, you know, a light worker on some level and really need to be shining your light because other people could be lost a little bit. So this is the cardinal moon. It says, be bold and make the first move. Isn't that interesting? So if there's something that you've been considering and you're kind of holding back, it's saying not to hold back on that, to go ahead and make, and it says your commitment is being tested. So one of the reasons why you're not maybe getting the thing that you want is because part of what's going on is there is something about just the universe. Just sometimes when we're looking at doing something and we're a little bit wishy-washy about whatever that is that it, you know, something else will come up. It's kind of like a balancing. Do we really, really want to do this? Or are we just saying that we want to do this? So there's something about that that's going to happen in the month of November. And that could be part of this mystery, right? So the first symbolism of this raven was, you know, about the darkness, the shadow, and the mystery. So we're going to go to Crow here, and I think it's this one. Okay, so Crow is just here to bring a little bit of information for you to think of, like food for thought is what we're going to call it. And I'm feeling like I'm going to bring this one back over here so it can rest here. It's interesting that all of this coloring is right here in, you know, in this coloring. It's this dark purple and then this beautiful kind of, you know, coloring. It's all being represented here. So it's asking you to make sure you balance the energy. And in Crow, it says you can't hoard your breath. You can only breathe in after you have breathed out. It's really as simple as that. So is there something that you're overthinking or thinking carries more weight than it actually does? Because that's what that card to me is saying. It's like there's a lot of shadow and brightness, and there's something about maybe you're wanting to move forward with something, but you just don't think that you're either strong enough or that you have enough light or enough energy, or that your confidence is lacking a little bit. So don't, you know, this could also represent something that you're holding on to that you don't need, right? That if you hold on to too much of one thing or you hold on too tightly to something, sometimes you end up eroding that very thing that you're trying to hold on to. Because if you don't let that breath out, then you die. You can't take another breath. Or if you have too much of something in your house, then it doesn't leave space and air for anything else to come in. It's just like I heard once somebody say, if you want to find a companion, make room in your closet. So if you're a single person and you really want a companion, make space so the universe knows that you really do want that a person to come in, which is what they're saying, like the commitment is being tested. Do you really want this thing? If you do, then make space for it. Think about that as you move forward. So we're going to go to these Deviant Moon Tarot. And we're going to start with this one. Okay, so this is the world. And it came out right side up, and I picked it up upside down. So I'm thinking there's some aspect about this is saying that your world is going to shift. Because I picked it up one way or the other, is that the world is this beautiful card that you want that's telling you that there's a completion. And because it's kind of been moving back around, that it's still up in the air about which way that this is going to end, because we're not really exactly sure about where we're going. So be aware of that your world, if it's not where you want it to be, can really shift in a direction that really excites you and turns you into the light. Don't hoard things, because if you keep yourself closed, then your world will be very different than if you open your arms and allow more to come in. So I love that we started off here with this world energy. All right, so we have a little stack here of cards coming out. I love this too. It can't get any better than this. You have the 10 of Cups, which is about, you know, really your dreams coming true. and having, you know, everything that your heart's desire is really what it is. When the 10 comes out, it's a completion. It's interesting that it's coming out right next to the world, because the world is the end of one cycle moving into a new cycle. And what I love about this is it's like we have a lot of this moon energy, of course, coming out anyway through some of the cards, but you've chosen the deviant moon. So there's some aspect here about your world changing, and it looks like it's changing for the better. And perhaps it's interesting that I talked here about making room in your closet and you know, and it being somewhat of a test to see how much do you really want that person coming into your life, because you have the Lovers card. Now the Lovers to me represents these things that are coming together. And, you know, right here next to, I love this image. I've never seen it this way before. And even though I've used this deck, I've never noticed that they're standing on solid ground here, but they're right next to this beautiful water, the beautiful energy. And it almost looks like the mountains are behind them or pyramids. So it's a time of this divine energy coming together to create a union on some level for you. And I feel like it's something that you haven't had in the past, because this world is going to shift and turn into something around that. And wow. And so if you're a woman looking for a man, this Emperor really knows who he is, and it's creating the environment, which is going to bring a lot of stability for you. And then again, we have another 10. So lots of things are changing. This is about him holding on to all this creative energy, but I feel like he's not going to have to carry all that burden by himself for very long, because all of this is shifting. And if you're feeling like you're going to be carrying, you can look at this in a couple of different ways. If you're feeling like you're carrying the burden of everything, it's asking you to let some of this stuff down, because the card that it's, you know, right next to here is saying not to hoard things, not to hold on to too many things. And this guy, not only is he holding on to too many, he's holding on to everything. It's like he has this fear that if he lets one thing go, that it's all going to dissipate. And if it all dissipates, it means that it doesn't really serve you anyway. So it's really that simple. If something falls away, it's not really for you. But what I'm seeing here is something around family, around the true love, around the strength of this masculine figure coming in. And either he's looking at him kind of like he needs to let some of this go. And maybe somebody is saying that to you. Maybe it's your inner, you know, self saying, I really need to let some of this go. I can't do it all alone. But to me, it kind of feels like there's an aspect around your family. Now, when I first looked at this, I was thinking your world is going to shift. And this is everything that you could possibly desire. You don't have any more wants because you have what you desire. But then right after that, you have all this passionate energy around a new choice. Like, what is your choice? So in this, are you kind of trying to decide between this guy or that guy around this happy marriage or something that feels like you're going to have it all over here? If that's the case, I feel like you already have the world here. And there's an option here for you to go into a different direction. And you may feel like, because this powerful energy is around you, that this is the right choice. But it's going to end up either creating this overwhelming, burden for you, or that you're just going to feel like it's too much and you need to put it down. I'm going to ask for a little bit more information around what is this energy. So what does this Lovers really represent? Is it, oh, isn't this interesting? I feel like there's two people, because I just got cards that have never done this before. And what they did is I got two cards. So this is telling me there are two people, that there's an aspect of what you're looking at in your life where there are two people in your life that are pulling you in two different directions, because these cards went this way in two different directions. This is the Magician. This environment that you're in right here feels like you have everything that you need. The Magician card has every element at his fingertips to be able to create everything that he wants. The Page of Wands is all new. It's about having this new kind of, the Wands is all about your creativity and passion and things like that. But he's on ice here. He's new. He doesn't really know exactly what he's doing. And sometimes that's a really good thing, is that you're just moving forward with this sheer passion. And sometimes you're unaware of what's happening and you could end up, cracking the ice and end up falling through. So be aware of these two options. Don't try to hoard. If you're in a relationship with two different people, one of these is going to go, because I feel like something is going to happen. They both look like they're you know, have their own kind of, you know, this may look like the secure way, but this kind of feels like it has everything that you want. But whatever it is, it's shifting. I'm going to see if there is anything else that the energy wants to bring. Okay, so there's two cards here. The Queen of Cups and the King of Swords. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is definitely about people coming together, and you're feeling like that you're, you know, that there's an offering. This is a balancing of the energy. Something has to happen here. The Swords is all about this communication, this air energy. The Cups is all about the water energy. And remember what I said as I was looking at this right here, is that right here in the middle, I saw this water and this, and there's two elements coming together here, and they seem like they're opposing. This feels like the past, that this past energy, and I feel like you're going to move towards this past energy with an offering that's going to bring this back into balance. But there is some aspect where you are being pulled in two different directions, whether it's a love relationship or whether it's family that's pulling you, telling you this, and this person's telling you that. But there has to be a moment where you tap into your divine intuition. Your commitment is being tested. It could be on, you know, a marriage. I'm kind of hearing that. It could be a commitment on, you know, what your family wants versus what your, you know, one family, like your personal family and your outside family. It could be your job, and it could be something else. But there's something that's pulling you in two different directions that feels like you have to go one way or the other. And there's a divine offering and something that you haven't seen that is going to come in the month of November, and I feel like you really need it. So when Lilith came out, what it was saying is that you can go into this darkness or you can be the light. And that's exactly what this was saying as well. And if you look at all this light, radiant energy, this King of Swords, which this is an angrier image, but he understands his world. He understands communication, and either you're going to hear what you need to hear that's going to bring you back into that space. You'll have to let me know how that works out, but something is definitely coming in, something that, you know, is an element that's a little shadow element that's going to be revealed in the month of November. Very, very interesting. I'm super excited for you. I don't know what's going on, but it looks like there's a lot of energy going on. So as you stand in the middle of all this, stand in your light and breathe. Don't hoard that breath. Breathe in and out. It's really that simple. All you have to do is make the choice, because whatever direction you go in is going to be the right direction. Even if you feel like it's the wrong direction in the beginning, you'll find that it takes you in the right direction. So whatever you do, yeah, it's going to be okay. Thank you, pile number 2. I'm so sorry that you're dealing with things, but you know, I feel like there's a divine aspect to what's going on here. There's a lot of major arcanas. There's a lot of big cards to have: the World, the Magician, the Lovers, the Emperor. This is a really big decision for you. So sit with it and go with your heart. Really go with your heart. Don't go with like what looks good on paper, or don't go with what like feels good in the moment. Go with your heart. It'll tell you which way to go. Thank you, pile number 2. Have an amazing day. Bye now. All right, pile number 3. This is your reading. How are you today? All right, so you've chosen the Crow Tarot, which I'm going to set aside. We're going to use these at the end of the reading to see, kind of clarify where we're going. And then we have this key. So what's interesting is this is a skeleton key. It's a very old key. So are you unlocking something from the past that you need more clarity on? Or is it time to lock that door and not go back? Because this infinity that's kind of popping up right here at the top means that what comes, leaves comes back again, and so forth and so on. And sometimes we just need to leave things in the past. And sometimes they're coming back to show us and to reveal something. So let's go to Black Moon Astrology and see what the cards are coming out for you, pile number 3. What you most need to know as we move into this time in November. I feel like it's that one right here. So I'm not an astrologist, and I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to interpret what I see, and then we'll go to the guidebook that offers a little bit more about this card, which is card number 3, Mercury in the Mind. And this looks like the image here of Thoth, which is what's really interesting about this key being here is like he is past. He is this divine God from the past, which is said to hold all information. And there's something about something from the past, I feel like information is coming in. And it could be changing the way that your world is. As you see him holding the world, it's like he has all the information of the world. So this is very exciting. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm really excited to see where this reading is going to go. So let's go into the guidebook and see what more information here around this Thoth and Mercury. It says, if you want to tell people the truth, make them laugh. Otherwise, they'll kill you. Oscar Wilde. Okay. I don't know why I read that, but that's a quote by Oscar Wilde. So I wonder what that means. So let's go to the god of Mercury. And what the god of Mercury brings in is he brings in intelligence and talking. And he's the closest planet to the sun, making it the fastest planet to move around the zodiac. And the card suggests that you must put effort behind your talk. Okay, so Oscar Wilde is probably making a little joke saying you have to make them laugh. And when you make people laugh, they understand what you're saying. They kind of feel it within their body. So there's something that I think that element is about really embodying something from the past as you move forward. So it says in ancient Greece, Hermes was the god of roads and transportation, was the son of Apollo, the sun god. This makes sense because Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. Mercury is also a comedian and a bit of a trickster. Just when the energy seems to be flowing one way, Mercury changes the direction. He is spontaneous and insanely flexible. However, he's wisdom as well. So when the planet, I'm trying to get to the point where it says what this card really means. It is not a time to stay static and still, being aware of gossip and other scandals. So is there something from the past where you kind of got caught in situations where you got a little gossipy, or was there something from the past that now is coming up and that people are gossiping about you, or are you gossiping about something that you became aware of? Because sometimes it can be a double-edged sword, is that we think that it's kind of funny, and what it can end up doing is end up hurting us in the long run. It says Mercury, it says the important thing to remember is that what you say in the situation can and will be used against you, so choose your words wisely. Isn't that interesting? Because that's kind of what the joke said in the beginning. It's like, don't kill the messenger, don't kill the relationship for the message. So something is going on, asking you to be really aware of something, perhaps from your past, or something coming up in the month of November that really changes and can have a damaging effect on what you're doing moving forward. So the planet Mercury is said to rule over technology and careers or jobs, and you can, what it says, it's the planet of speed. So whatever it is that happens around those situations can have a really fast development. But if you're in technology, it could, it's like hiccups could happen within that. I'm not really sure. So let's draw some more cards and see if we get some more information. So this is the Moon Oracle, Earthly Souls and Spirits, and Celestial. That's coming out, and I think it's this one as well. And this one came out in the last reading, Beautiful. So I love that it has the Celestial here right next to Beautiful. This one was about taking time and a pause and seeing, like changing your focus. And this is Celestial. So I'm going to go way out on a limb here. I feel like something from the past, really ancient information is going to come out, and it's going to change some aspect about your job or how you're moving forward. Maybe words are going to be used against you, something that you said in the past that you thought, why are we bringing that up? But it's really could be very damaging for you. So make sure how you move forward, because there's some sort of divine aspect around this. When the celestial card comes out, it's telling you that information from outside sources are coming in. We have both these divine God and goddesses here kind of bringing in information for the past. So this is kind of, both of these look like ghost-like images, and they're bringing in information. It says the universe conspires to reveal the truth and to make your path easy if you have the courage to follow the signs. It's very interesting that these are bringing in these elements about being aware of information coming forward. It says here in the guidebook that spirit guides and energies combined with the universe are going to deliver guidance in kind of sometimes small details. Your intuition will play an important role in what's moving on forward. And listen and watch closely. So that's what the celestial card is. So it's not getting any clearer in my mind. So I'm wondering if this is, if you're aware of what this is getting at, because it could be something from your past that's being revealed, something that could be damaging. Make sure that this trickster energy is not at play here. Make sure you understand what's going on. But I feel like this is a real big cosmic event that's happening, where there's going to be people that are going to be playing around with maybe what we're seeing out in the world right now. And it's going to have an effect on you. And just to be aware that trickster energy is out there and in, you know, this environment. But there are other guidance that's coming in to help you, because this is asking you to, it says safely stored inside of you is an endless wealth of thoughts, feelings, and heightened scenes, all on your own. So beauty is found within the soul. So I feel like there's some aspect that you're going to have to change your focus to be able to see something, because maybe you're going to get thrown off your game a little bit. This is around strength, being enough, how you value yourself, and perhaps what's being uncovered here is going to knock that a little bit, you know, loose for you. Okay, so I'm going to take this one here, which is confidence is the key to your success. And then the second card, nothing yet is set in stone. So both of these are very interesting. You have this fire and this water that's coming together here together to reveal this message for you. And the fact that I'm going to bring these up a little bit closer so you can see them here. Confidence is your key to success, and then nothing is yet set in stone. So it depends. So I feel like whatever is moving forward is really going to be dependent on how you handle the situation. Something is going to be revealed. Listen to the guidance that you're, you know, confidence in yourself and where you're going. Don't let this trickster energy come in and derail you on some level, because the energy is going to be ripe for you to kind of maybe misunderstand something that's going on. And yeah, that's not what we want right now in this energy. So we got two cards here. And it says, the first one, nonsense. Isn't this perfect? Life's too short to spend time weighing up every word. So just try talking nonsense. Isn't that funny? So try just talking nonsense. So I think that was back to this, where it was talking about making a joke. It's like if you lighten things up with these words, these joking things, or maybe there was a joke that was said from the past that was taken heavier than it needed to be, and it's asking you not to do that. Let's see if, yeah, that is coming in. And then this one here, it says, call your friends together, hold counsel, then take flight, sweep through the air, and decide. So that again is asking you just to make sure. This is this council energy that I feel like is coming in. Really beautiful readings today. There a lot of beautiful energy coming in for these readings to give us real guidance. So this is interesting. This was talking about laughing, nonsense. And so I think what it's saying is some of what is going to come out from the past is going to all be nonsense. There's going to be this trickster energy. It's about not taking all that stuff from the past too seriously. So be aware. And then there's going to be this celestial energy that's going to come in, that's going to ask you to kind of allow a new idea, thought, and guidance. And it's telling you to kind of realize that the energy around you, that you don't have to like react on that energy right away. You can take your time and see, you know, pause and then receive different guidance. Be confident in this guidance that you're getting, because there's a major shift going through right now and nothing is set in stone. There's something that's really malleable, that really has the opportunity to change, but it's going to depend on what you're looking at. Isn't this interesting? So the 5 of Cups is the first card coming out. And see, this, I feel like, is summing this all up beautifully. He's looking to the past, and there's something that is spilled. There's something that maybe negatively happened. The 5 of Cups is around this heartache, that thing that didn't work out, that you're only looking at your losses here. But behind you is 2 cups. And this is plenty to be able to move forward. These things that didn't work out were here to teach you a lesson. So there's some aspect about that past that's being revealed. And I'm just going to kind of stick it over here because I feel like that's what this energy is. Something from the past is coming forward to be revealed, and you still have what you need to move forward. You're just going to have to change your focus about what do you really want out of this situation. Decide after you've talked to friends and created air around it, lightheartedness. Okay. Yeah, so this is the 7. The 7 is about what you really desire. This is where I was going with this. What is it that you really want to have happening? There's a lot of things around him. Nothing is set in stone. You can make the decision. This is right here in the middle of the reading. So because something, you know, we're unlocking some sort of mystery, it, you know, lighten up that, whatever it is that you're getting. See the humor in whatever it is that's being received, because that trickster energy sometimes can be very painful, but it could also be kind of funny. And this is showing just that. Is like this trickster energy can have consequences to it. So let's see. It's asking you to look in a new direction, to new options. So let's see what else Crow energy can bring forward for us. Okay, so this one is Judgment. Yeah, so this happens, this comes out. This is the completion of something. It's like when you're standing at the pearly gates, right? This is a major arcana card. There's something that's coming out that's going to, you know, these guys are all rising from this weight of whatever this is. Standing at the pearly gates. The thing that you put in is what you're going to get back out. This Judgment is saying that it's over. Whatever it is over. It's time to change in a new direction. And interestingly, I don't know if you can see this, but we have the same kind of imagery here. This is the exact same, or very, very similar. Maybe it's not the exact same, but it's a similar image. So I think that there's something maybe that you're missing in all of this. Something that isn't that interesting, that kind of looked like it was one thing, but it's really another. Nah, that feels more right? Because I was thinking it was the same as that from the past, but it's not. This is asking you to let go and to trust what's moving forward, to change your focus, to go into a different direction, that the weight of what this past was, it's time to let it all go. So yeah, you have the Queen of Swords. This is this divine feminine aspect. She's standing on her throne here, and she's aware of how important the words are, her communication. She's in control of that. There's either somebody, this is either an aspect of you or somebody coming in that is going to be able to, you're going to feel the kindness in the words or the clarity in the words. You're going to get the information that you need moving forward to make these good decisions. Like it was saying here, call your friends together, hold counsel. There's going to be something that's coming out for you that is going to help move you in the right direction. So let's see. And by right direction, I feel like it's going to be like, this is all white. She's on a white throne. This is going to be more of a lighthearted direction, where this was a little bit dark and mysterious and kind of left you feeling a sadness from the past. But this is something that you have to let go so you can move in this way. But again, nothing is set in stone, because you still have choices to make. And we are all human here, and we all have choices. So let's see, to wrap up your reading, pile number 3, what is going on here? The last, if there's any additional messages. Okay. So you have one more card here. Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh, you couldn't have picked a more beautiful card. So this is the Star, right? So this is, he's opened up, and he has, that said right here next to this angelic, that you're going to have guidance and inspiration that's going to be divinely brought in. So this is about you being able to tap into more than what you're seeing right here in the physical. This is about your awareness of being a divine aspect of the cosmos, of more elements. And I love that these birds here are ready to sing with you. They have new energy. The water is here. You've got just so much going on. So I feel like there's really, even though you've got a lot going on and nothing is set in stone, there's a lot here wanting to bring you and liberate you from what was the past and seemed possibly like something, and it wasn't really what you thought it was, but it left you a little bit heartbroken. There's new choices moving ahead. Confidence is the key. Something really beautiful about you and what is going to be revealed for you in the past. So pile number 3, thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed the reading, I hope you will consider subscribing if you're not a subscriber. And if you are, thank you so much for being here. I always enjoy doing tarot, and I hope you have an amazing Halloween. So until next time, have an amazing day. Bye now. All right, so if you've hung around this long, this is a little bonus reading in the back. It's Toni, Carmine, Salerno. This is the soulmate card. So if a divine soulmate is something that you're looking for, then I'm going to draw a card. So this is from the last reading. I'm going to draw a card for and make 3 separate piles here, and then I will read each one so you can hear all of them. Okay, so this is the first message for pile number 1. Actually, there are 3 here, so this is exactly what will go. The 3 messages around these divine soulmates, and you can say, you know, maybe you're 1, maybe you're 2, maybe you're 3, and maybe you need to see all 3. Surrender all that no longer serves you. Allow all that is buried in your heart to surface, heal, and create space for fresh energies to center. A beginning transforms darkness into light. I love that. So that's around a new beginning for 1. The second one, it's interesting that the key was here, and there's a key here. Do not fear the current changes. All is happening in accordance with your divine plan. Current events are paving the way to a brighter future. Love illuminates all. Remain positive and light. And for the third reading, it's normal to miss someone who is dear to you. Remember, love knows no separation. You may be physically apart, but spiritually, you are always united. Those you love are forever present in your heart. So thank you, Toni, for those reading. And for any of you that wanted to jump in and see this last reading, I'm going to, as we move towards the end of the year, I'll probably do a relationship reading. And I thought it might be kind of fun as an aspect of November to give you an idea of this is 1, 2, or 3. It doesn't have to relate to the pile that you chose, although it can. I just wanted to give options, and whatever feels resonant with you was meant to be for you. 1, 2, 3, or all 3 of them. So I hope you have an amazing Halloween, and until next time, bye now.